What's going on, y'all? My name is Brian Sanchez, and welcome to Living the Magic. Got some news dropped today from Disney Parks blog. Gonna jump right into it. An announcement for new adventures coming to Star Tours. We're gonna talk about the implications of this, what it means, and hopefully this is a sign of things to come. So what does the announcement say specifically? Well, beginning April 5th through June, what's the dates here? June 2nd, they're implementing something called Season of the Force. It's kind of a Star Wars celebration sort of thing at Disneyland Park. But these new Star Tours additions will be not just in Disneyland, but in Walt Disney World and, of course, Disneyland Paris, all the places where you have a Star Tours attraction like that. But we will be getting new adventures featuring characters and locations from new popular Disney Plus series, such as Andor, Ahsoka, and The Mandalorian. This is absolutely fantastic news. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see the addition give us more Mando and Grogu in the parks. Give us more Ahsoka, and honestly, Andor. In all honesty, of the recently the Disney Plus series that I'm enjoying the most, in all honesty, I think it's Andor. The first season of Andor was some of the best Star Wars that I've seen in a very, very long time. It definitely felt like that retro Star Wars that I think we were all kind of hoping that we would get. Obviously Ahsoka and The Mandalorian have ties into the animated series from the, mid 2000s and stuff. And they are fantastic. And we love, Grogu and all of that. But honestly, anything that gives us more Andor in the parks would be a very big welcome change. So, they've been adding new missions and locations to Star Tours for a very long time. It's been rotating, adding in characters from the, sequel trilogies and stuff over the years. And I think it's a great way of keeping that attraction up to date and feeling fresh. But particularly in Orlando, when the Star Cruiser was operating, I feel like there was a reluctance of adding in some of the characters and bringing the new things that were happening in the Disney Plus series into the Disney park, specifically in Orlando, because of the tie-ins to the Star Cruiser and how the Star Cruiser storyline tied so deeply into the story of Rey and the First Order and all of that stuff. And now with the Star Cruiser gone, I'm hoping this is a sign that we're going to basically punt on this whole stuck in one time period idea. I think ultimately, if Disney would have stuck to the guns of the fully immersive offerings that we were promised with Galaxy's Edge when it was first announced, interactive characters and more attractions that were supposed to be in there. It wasn't supposed to be just the two. It was supposed to be a third attraction in Galaxy's Edge, but a system that also would kind of track you throughout the, your experience, and your experience flying the Millennium Falcon was supposed to carry over into dining experiences and things. And so characters people that you would interact with in other parts of the land would have the ability of seeing how you did on that other attraction, and you would build your own story. I think ultimately the kind of things that they rolled into the Star Cruiser were the things that were promised for Galaxy's Edge. And so if we would have gotten a full-fledged version of that, maybe okay. But as time kind of went on and they tried to do some of this stuff, but as things kind of got rolled back and continuity started to get broken here and there, I think at this point, everyone's well aware that it's not what was promised. I think generally, your average day guest doesn't really care or know that was ever the idea. And so I think you're going to start to see more and more timelines being broken with additions of characters like this into Galaxy's Edge, into Star Tours, and just kind of be a celebration of Star Wars as a whole. I would love for them to bring Galaxy's Edge, updating it into, the era of The Mandalorian, Ahsoka. Obviously, Andor takes place before all of that stuff, so that doesn't fit that timeline. But like I said, at the end of the day, give us more characters, give us more walk around characters. I understand there's a little bit of a continuity thing that you kind of want to, work. So maybe, you're probably not going to have, the Mandalorian and Grogu walking around at the same time as Darth Vader and, original series stormtroopers with First Order stormtroopers and like all of that kind of stuff. Like I kind of, I get that, but, again, I think ultimately we're kind of moving away from this locked one timeline story version of Galaxy's Edge, and I think it's about time, honestly. I would love to see them bring more entertainment into Galaxy's Edge and bring more, park-specific storyline stuff into, the parks, but additions like this, adding in Andor, Grogu, The Mandalorian, Ahsoka into Star Tours, it's a fantastic idea. Like I said, it's a pretty simple announcement they dropped on Disney Parks blog today. They also announced, pulling it up, you can check the article out in the description. They're also going to be bringing back Hyperspace Mountain over in Disneyland, which I wish they would do something similar in Disney World, but that's probably never going to happen. In addition to new merchandise, themed food and beverage options, and debuting, this is actually another really cool thing that they announced today in Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland. You can see the fireworks from Galaxy's Edge, and during this time period, starting in April 5th, running through the end of June 2nd, not the end of June 2nd, they're going to play Star Wars music during those fireworks, and so you'll get the sweeping sounds of Galaxy's Edge and all that kind of stuff in with that. So that brings a little bit of different perspective on the fireworks, which I think is a fantastic idea. If you can sync something up in there to kind of go inside and enhance the experience for folks watching fireworks in Galaxy's Edge, I think it's a fantastic idea. So, just a simple little update here, guys. This dropped today. I was super excited about it. Gave me an opportunity to talk about some Star Wars stuff. I really, really think that they're just going to be moving away from this, and rightly so. I think it's about time we just bring the characters that we all know and love. I'm not a person that hates the sequel trilogy. I think it's pretty good. It has its issues, but I do like those characters, and so they can stay as well. You don't have to retheme everything, but give us more Ahsoka, give us more Din Djarin, Baby Grogu, and all of those characters as well. Give us all the Star Wars that we love. And a Darth Vader and a Luke Skywalker walk-around character would be phenomenal as well. But anyways, I digress. I'm going to get out of here, y'all. Thank y'all so much for listening to the podcast, checking out the video. If you want to subscribe, follow along for updates and all the adventures and things that we do. And, of course, you can follow along on Patreon. It's patreon.com/signalpointmedia. That's going to do it today. We'll see y'all around. Thank y'all so much. And as always, Mando.